As the years passed by, more consequences on Earth are arising, or just getting worse than before. This really suffered the environment because of our human activities on Earth. But then, we are still the one who faced these struggles. Two of the planet's main environmental problems are climate change and air pollution, and they are closely linked. But before we establish this link, we must start by distinguishing clearly between the two, because they're not the same thing. Firstly, climate change is the global variation of the Earth's climate due to natural causes and human activity. Global warming is accelerated by greenhouse gases caused by human activity. The main greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Although carbon dioxide is the main gas contributing to climate change, it is not harmful to human health. Climate change has many consequences with global impact, mainly due to changes in climate patterns, the rising sea level, and more extreme meteorological phenomena. Climate change is not only an environmental phenomenon, its negative impacts have social and economic consequences too. For its part, air pollution is the presence in the air of substances or particles that imply danger, damage, or disturbance for humans, flora, or fauna. The main sources of atmospheric contamination are tropospheric ozone gases, sulfur oxides, and nitrogen oxides, and benzoapyrene, and particulate matter. These gases result mainly from emissions caused by the burning of fossil fuels, including emissions generated by transport, industrial processes, burning of forests, aerosol use, and radiation. Air pollution is also caused by the presence in the atmosphere of toxic substances, mainly produced by human activities, even though sometimes it can result from natural phenomena such as volcanic eruptions, dust storms, and wildfires, also depleting the air quality. Road traffic is one of the most significant sources of both greenhouse gases and air pollution. Air pollution is one of the biggest threats for the environment and affects everyone: humans, animals, crops, cities, forests, aquatic ecosystems. Air pollution can be defined as an alteration of air quality that can be characterized by measurements of chemical, biological, or physical pollutants in the air. Therefore, air pollution means the undesirable presence of impurities or the abnormal rise in the proportion of some constituents of the atmosphere. It can be classified in two sections: visible and invisible air pollution. Social harm of climate change and air pollution. Another characteristic shared by both phenomena is their serious impact on society. Climate change causes drought, flooding, deforestation, homelessness, and extinction of animal and plant species, resulting in famine and disease. Atmospheric pollution causes 6 million deaths a year worldwide, and a quarter of lung cancer cases, heart attacks, and strokes, representing 0.3% of world GDP in health costs, as well as reducing productivity at work. We already know that air pollution triggers illnesses such as kidney failure or infection, and now more and more studies are establishing links between air pollution and other illnesses, such as osteoporosis. In other words, the effects of air pollution on health extend far beyond respiratory or cardiac disorders. According to a report by the European Court of Auditors, more than 10 times as many people die as a result of air pollution than are killed in road accidents. What are the effects of air pollution? It is impossible to describe the whole extent of potential and actual damage caused by all forms of air pollution. But here are the main consequences. On the environment, air pollution has a major impact on the process of plant evolution by preventing photosynthesis in many cases, with serious consequences for the purification of the air we breathe. It also contributes to the formation of acid rain, atmospheric precipitations in the form of rain, frost, snow, or fog, which are released during the combustion of fossil fuels and transformed by contact with water steam in the atmosphere. Global warming. On top of that, air pollution is a major contributor to global warming and climate change. In fact, the abundance of carbon dioxide in the air is one of the causes of the greenhouse effect. Normally, the presence of greenhouse gases should be beneficial for the planet because they absorb the infrared radiation produced by the surface of the Earth. But the excessive concentration of these gases in the atmosphere is the cause of the recent climate change. On human health, our continual exposure to air pollutants is responsible for the deterioration of human health. Air pollution is indeed a significant risk factor for human health conditions, causing allergies, respiratory, and cardiovascular diseases as well as lung damage. Anthropogenic air pollution sources are combustion of fossil fuels like coal and oil for electricity and road transport, producing air pollutants like nitrogen and sulfur dioxide. Emissions from industries and factories, releasing large amount of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon, chemicals, and organic compounds into the air. Agricultural activities due to the use of pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers that emit harmful chemicals. Waste production, mostly because of methane generation in landfills. Air pollution prevention. There are ways to prevent and control, eventually reduce air pollution. First, renewable fuel and clean energy production. The most basic solution for air pollution is to move away from fossil fuels, replacing them with alternative energies like solar, wind, and geothermal. This could really help to reduce the use of burning fossil fuels that lead to contamination of air molecules. Second, energy conservation and efficiency. Producing clean energy is crucial, but equally important is to reduce our consumption of energy by adopting responsible habits and using more efficient devices. We should be wiser enough in using our personal devices and consuming energy so that a little good contribution to air will be enhanced. Third, eco-friendly transportation. Shifting to electric vehicles and hydrogen vehicles and promoting shared mobility, example, carpooling and public transport, could reduce air pollution. Fourth, green building. From planning to demolition, green building aims to create environmentally responsible and resource-efficient structures to reduce their carbon footprint. In addition, monitoring air pollution levels has become very important to detect pollution peaks, better control air pollution, and eventually improve air quality. Air pollution and climate change are getting worse. The impacts mentioned above will be felt with increasing severity as time goes on if we do not change the energy model. The effects will be more devastating for both the planet and for people's health Carbon dioxide accumulates and can last at least 100 years in the atmosphere. The global level of air pollution could increase fivefold over the next half century if the situation is not remedied.